Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Charnel and this is my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can get all this dope content, okay? Today's video is going to be a little different. We're going to be talking about a topic called PCOS. I don't know if you're familiar with PCOS. If you are familiar with it, shout out to you. If you're not, I'm here to educate you a little bit further regarding this topic. But first, a disclaimer. I am not a nurse practitioner. I am not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm none of those things. So take all of this information with a grain of salt. I trust what I'm saying, and I have done my research and I've been dealing with this for years, but I'm not a doctor. So let's not, just putting that out there. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about PCOS because it's important to me. This is something that I have been dealing with for about 9 years. First of all, PCOS, what is that? Let's start there. PCOS it stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. So with that, it's basically a hormonal imbalance caused by little fluid-filled bubbles and their cysts. And they're lining your ovaries and they cause hormonal imbalances in your system. A lot of women have irregular cycles. They have either you have irregular cycles or excessive cycles where they exceed longer than 7 days, and you have excessive bleeding and all those things. But it's not exclusive to that. Some women have irregular cycles like me. Some of the symptoms that come with PCOS include obesity. Some women deal with being overweight and obesity. Some women deal with infertility. I believe diabetes is a very uncommon thing, but it is a symptom. Depression, anxiety, high stress levels, acne, cystic acne, excessive hair growth. So those are just some of the symptoms that I'm familiar with. If you guys have heard about other symptoms, that's cool, but that's just what I know. And again, those things are caused by the hormonal imbalance where women with PCOS have a lower level of estrogen and a higher level than normal amount of testosterone. So again, these things are caused by hormonal imbalance. So this is just one of the things that women deal with. Again, potentially cervical cancer, infertility, diabetes. Those three things and even obesity are very serious and not to be played with. But it's ironic, right? Because in my experience, I was diagnosed with PCOS, and when I was 20, I went in to my OBGYN to get a pap smear. I did that, came back abnormal. The doctor let me know that he felt that I had PCOS, not to worry, you're skinny, you're healthy, it's not a big deal, we're just gonna put you on birth control. So I go on birth control for a year, and it was very difficult for me. I was not really good at being consistent with the pills and taking them at the right time and every day, all that stuff. So sometimes I went from not having a period at all before I went on birth control to going on birth control, kind of forgetting when to take it, then having excessive periods. So sometimes my periods would go from 7 to 12 days. But I know that this is common with birth control. But it's interesting though, right? They tell you that birth control is the way to cure PCOS, but it's really not. Birth control is just a band-aid on top of a huge problem. It just settles some of the symptoms temporarily. But once you stop taking birth control, all those symptoms come back or potentially worsen. I know friends that don't even have PCOS and have been on birth control, stop taking birth control, and they're like, what the heck? I don't even get a period anymore. What is going on? But it's probably due to hormonal imbalances, and that's the root cause of PCOS. So yeah, again, I stopped taking birth control after a year of it just not working out for me and just thinking logically, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't heal the issue. After doing my research, I'm like, what? PCOS is all of these things. The doctor didn't even tell me the risk factors behind PCOS. He was just go on birth control, So once I realized that, I was like, okay, I'm not doing birth control. my periods did stop coming. Like, I was still dealing with a lot of the, you know, the symptoms, depression. I didn't really have excessive hair growth, but I do get like pimples along my chin and like my jawline and stuff like that. But I don't get hair on them. It's annoying. And I get really bad, well, I used to get really bad cystic acne, but we're gonna talk about all of that. But those symptoms persisted after I stopped taking birth control. But the only thing that actually gave me relief with the PCOS was actually cutting out certain foods. So my experience was specifically, I was in church, my church family and I, like, we all went on a vegan fast. We didn't eat dairy, clearly, no rice, no wheat, no yeast, no soy, no animal products, and no corn, I think. No, we can eat corn. But yeah, none of the flour, the yeast, all that stuff, cut it out. And my cycles regulated for like 2 months. I was on the fast for, I believe, 2 months. And then like my cycles began to regulate. So like they were regulating, and then like, because I received such positive like reactions from my body from like fasting for that amount of time and doing that type of fast, I would kind of consistently do that to the point where I was like, you know what? I should just be vegan, or not vegan, I'm sorry. I should just be vegetarian. I'm gonna cut out chicken, because I started getting headaches from eating chicken. But cut out chicken. I'm just gonna try and have a rich vegetable, you know, diet. And I did that up until like this year, honestly, because I was just like, I want to eat chicken. So I started eating chicken. But yeah, I went vegetarian, I went pescatarian, and my cycles came, but not as consistently, but they were coming way more than they have ever come. So I do believe that like having a plant-based diet and making sure that you're eating food that promotes blood flow really does help, especially with polycystic ovarian syndrome. One of the symptoms is iron deficiency. Like, a lot of women who have PCOS have low iron. So like, just making sure that you're eating foods that are high in flow, beets, like things that help your blood flow, like that, those things are good. I also was making sure that I would take like these supplements that I bought from Whole Foods. They're like plant-based blood flow vitamins, and they help like your blood flow. But I think that like my body ended up getting used to them and they just kind of stopped working. But for like a year, they were helping. And prenatal vitamins also helped just give me all of those extra nutrients that I wasn't maybe getting from my foods. Sometimes you may not be getting all the nutrients that you need. So like taking those extra vitamins like are super beneficial, and they really helped me. But I will say that like I'm not cured from PCOS. I still deal with it. I still don't get consistent periods. I get them every once in a while, more than I used to, but it is still an issue. And I believe that the main issue behind it is the hormonal imbalance. In 2020, I gained like 20 pounds and turned to 30 pounds. And like, I just have been trying to get this weight off since 2021, and I really haven't seen any results. And I've been really consistent with it. Maybe my eating is a thing, but I believe that it's because of hormonal imbalances. And you will be surprised, the type of food that you eat really impacts your hormones, really impacts your insulin. And that's another thing. Women with PCOS, we have to focus on insulin resistance. We have to focus on maintaining healthy blood sugar levels, healthy insulin levels, because when those things start to get out of whack, we have higher symptoms, and it kind of just sends our hormones, like, it just makes our hormones go berserk. So the way to kind of like combat that is figuring out the foods that are spiking your insulin levels past where they need to be, or lowering them past where they need to be. But more than likely, they're heightening them. So what we need to do is make sure that we're eating the foods that are helping our situation, not, you know, making it worse. So that's one thing that I really want to focus on this year. I know that some foods that heighten insulin levels include wheat, bread, rice, bananas, artificial sugars, artificial flavors, and like that type, like sodas and all that stuff. Even certain fruits, we're really not supposed to be eating like that. Like I mentioned, bananas. But there are fruits and vegetables and foods that we can eat that will help us maintain a healthy insulin level and a healthy blood sugar level. But that would be like something I talk about later on. But I did want to point out those foods that we should cut out. And for me, like moving forward, I've been trying to pay attention to like how much rice I'm eating, how much bread I'm eating, how much wheat, you know, how much, I don't like bananas, but I don't know, bananas, whatever, even nuts, you know, like what are the things that are actually negatively impacting us? Because y'all, I'm not even going to get into the type of dialogue and the type of like conversations I've been involved in with doctors who will say, oh, if your body was normal, or if you had a normal ovary, like that is so toxic, and that is so, makes you feel so defeated, makes you feel so separate from the rest of like the woman population. Like it just makes you feel like you're not a part of what you are, you know, and we're different, yes, but that doesn't mean that we're not normal. Like I just think that putting those type of titles on our bodies is self-deprecating and it's so unhealthy and it's so toxic. So I just wanted to create a community where we speak explicitly and honestly and candidly about our experience with PCOS, and just really focusing on things that will help aid us into healing and help aid us into reversing this diagnosis. Like, because this is not the end all be all. Like we can heal from these things. Like I think that speaking over your body, being gentle with yourself, having grace with yourself, having grace with your body, and just having gratefulness and being thankful for how far your body has brought you. It could be so much worse, yes, but like let's honor where we are now and believe that it can get better and that we can do what we need to do to heal ourselves. One thing that I'm going to try this year is the Detox Now kit. I have no idea if it's successful, if it works. I have the reputation to heal women from their fibroids, and they also have a reputation from reversing PCOS, and they have these herbs and these tinctures that they use, and they give you a diet, a nutrition plan, an exercise plan, even like help you maintain your stress, because that's another symptom of PCOS. All of these things are a part of their like whole shit, you know? So I'm really open to seeing how that works. I'm going to try my best to vlog and share my journey and share my process. I haven't bought the Detox Now kit, but when I do, I will let y'all know. I'm definitely planning on buying it next week after I get paid. So just stay tuned for that episode. And yeah, I'm excited. I just have so much hope and so much faith. I've seen how just altering your nutrition and altering your habits and what you're doing, and intermittent fasting. I didn't even talk about that, but like intermittent fasting is another thing that's been helpful. And also just taking care of your body and taking care of your skin, like doing the things externally to help internally, you know, like washing your face when you have cystic acne. It's not an end all be all. You can have a hormonal imbalance and all that stuff, but you can still heal your skin. I mean, yes, it's happening internally, but like there are things that you can do to deep cleanse your skin. There are things that you can do to continue to alkaline and cleanse your body. Like it is not impossible. So I sometimes feel like it's impossible, but it's definitely not impossible. I just came out here to tell y'all that it's not impossible, and we're gonna do this together, y'all. So if you're all the way at this point in the video, thank you. I hope that I added some value to your life. If you have any questions, if you're dealing with PCOS, comment below. If you know somebody that's dealing with PCOS, comment below. If you're dealing with fibroids or anything like you feel like is unique to the female experience, let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's create a community. I know I'm new to YouTube, but I've been seeking my community. So I hope that I found it, and I hope that you guys found me. And yeah, let's communicate. Let's fellowship, y'all. So I know this is like a heavy topic, and I just really want the stigma to die. So yeah, yeah, y'all, hopefully that was impactful. Hopefully that was helpful. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. And I have some more content coming for you guys. So just stay tuned. Lots of love. Enjoy your week.